Welcome back, guys. It's July 17th. It's about 4:45. Just got out of work at 4:30. Getting ready to head out for the next day or two to set my first trail cameras of the year. I got 7 or 8 trail cameras. Not sure if I'll get them all out. And I just realized while I was loading up my truck that I think part of the reason I don't film as much as I should is because I'm always running late, always in a hurry. So got all the stuff in my truck. I got spotting scope, binoculars, sleeping bag because I probably just sleep in my truck tonight, my cameras, cooler. Got to stop at Walmart and grab a couple snacks and a bag of ice for the cooler, and then gas the truck up, and I will be out of here. Part of the reason I'm bringing my sleeping bag is since I moved to Montana, I cast a real wide net, so I'll run cameras in a couple different counties and all over for me. The good thing about Montana is there are some mature bucks. The bad thing is they're real few and far between on public, especially since that winter of 2022, and into 2023. So I'm going to do whatever I can this year to track down a good buck or 3 or 4 hopefully, and that means putting in the work. So if you watch my vlog from yesterday, got out, did some glassing, found some decent whitetail bucks, nothing too crazy. And that's the plan today. I'm going to do some glassing this evening, different area, and then the first thing in the morning, I'm going to get out 5 or 6 trail cameras across, like I said, probably a couple different counties. That'll probably take me most of the day. And then I plan to do some glassing in the evening. So that's it. Stick around. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll have something exciting to show from my glassing sessions, and maybe I'll talk about my trail camera setups a little bit. I plan to do a lot more filming this year, so we'll see what comes of that. Stay tuned. Oh, you know we're really doing it when we're at Walmart. It's got all stocked up and getting ready to head out. Get it up. I'm gonna do some glassing for the first hour of daylight here, see if I can get eyes on anything, and if I don't, hopefully I do, but if I don't, then I'll start getting my cameras out. So got a big day today, probably be out most of the day traveling around between the glassing this morning and getting cameras out. So I'll take you along and we'll see how it goes. On my morning glassing session, I saw one big 2x2 mule deer. This is the only decent buck I saw. Yeah, I think this is a 4-year-old buck, and I actually got a little bit of history with this buck. And here's a trail camera picture from last year. I think he was a 3-year-old here. Might have been 2, but I had a picture of him the year before, and he looked the same. And I think he was a 2-year-old the year before. All right, getting this first camera out, or on the way to. This came across a good bed. This spot's usually pretty good early season, so there's the bed. And I actually walked past a smaller mule deer buck on the way in here. Just a 4-year-old buck, but they're in here, and I've had pretty good luck in this spot in the past getting pictures of decent bucks. So gonna get out here another half mile or so and drop this camera off. All right, I got my first camera set up, just overlooking this little opening. I've got deer here in the past skirting the edge of this, so it's usually a pretty good spot. Okay, I just set up my first, Jesus, there's that grouse. So I just set up my first camera. I'm excited to get that out. It feels like the kickoff to the season. Got this camera in an area where I've got 1 or 2 mature bucks in the past, public land, so it's hard to find any, but this spot has at least given me a good inventory usually. You can't bait or do any minerals or any stuff like that in Montana, so I just try to find main travel corridors, and the one that I just put the camera on, there's 2 main trails that cross kind of right in front of it, and there just happens to be a tree that works. So got that out and gonna get back to my truck and move on to the next one. Okay, second spot I'm gonna put a camera is on this tree right here. There's a real good trail that runs this way, and then there's this little bluff hillside, and the deer usually skirt through this area along this trail. I've had pretty good luck picking stuff up through here, so this is the plan. All right, guys, I'm out here setting up my third camera, and there's this fence crossing here. This has been a good spot for activity over the years, so we'll see if anything comes through here. And while I was looking at the spot, I looked over and I found a giant shed, so I'm gonna go pick that up in a minute. Yeah, looked bigger than it was. Still a solid one. I'm happy to have it, but when I first saw it, I thought it was like a 70-incher. Probably more like a mid-50s. They'll do that to you sometimes. Okay, it's Sunday, July 20th. Gonna put a couple broadheads downrange. I like to shoot broadheads pretty much all year round, but especially the month or two before season. And my antelope season starts August 15th, so down to broadheads only. Got my targets here and backstop. I used that Reinhardt 16-sided target for broadhead, and then I got the 365, the bigger one, basically just in case I missed a broadhead target at longer range. And then I built this backstop. I did a video on that a while back. I can put a link to that video. It's just horse stall mats here and some 4x4 framing. So all right, let's take a few shots and see what happens. Actually, I'm going to set the camera up down here. All right, been shooting broadheads for a couple weeks now, and I've been pretty consistently to the right. Haven't moved my sight yet. Just wanted to confirm, but at all ranges I'm shooting just barely right, so I'm gonna make a small adjustment on my sight and keep it going from there. I got 5 trail cameras out in total, and then I've been shooting my bow, like I said, pretty regularly. Need to make some final sight adjustments for my broadheads, but gonna be working on that over the next couple days. Just a little bit less than 30 days out to antelope season, but feeling pretty good about everything overall. In the next episode, I'm gonna go over my early season hunting clothing. So if you're not already subscribed and you wanna see what I'm wearing early season Montana when it's 80, 90, sometimes 100 degrees out during antelope season, make sure you subscribe, tune in, and I'll go over that on the next one. We'll catch you then.